Now, our discovery today is a woman that everyone will be inspired by, no matter what background you're from, wherever it is, what stage of life you are right now. Her story and what she's doing right now would inspire you to know that there's no excuse for you to not get started on your entrepreneurial journey today. And I'm saying that because she's a mother, she's a wife, she's a pastor, she's currently doing her PhD, and she's thriving in the food processing space. We all know that when coronavirus hit Ghana, Sobolo became the thing. The president told the entire nation we should drink Sobolo to boost our immunity. But for most of us, either we don't know how to make Sobolo ourselves, or the ones on the market, they have so much sugar, you don't even know where the water is coming from. So we just stay away from them. Now, she's made this beautiful hibiscus teas that when you see them, you won't even think that they are made right here in Ghana. She's going to share her story with us. She's going to tell us all about her trade secrets. So if you have any questions for her, please use the hashtag BreakfastDaily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585-832. If you're outside Ghana, please use the country code +233. I'm talking about Pastor Boahemaa Ntim. She is the Innovation and Business Development Lead of Nutri Health Food and Beverages. And you're going to understand why the innovation is important and the biz dev is also very important. Good morning.
Good morning, Jipa.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
I'm happy to be here.
Tell us a bit about your company before we even get into your background and how you arrived at this.
Okay. So Nutri Health was registered just about a year ago.
Wow.
At the peak of Corona. We're home and a lot of time on our hands, and we got to thinking, I mean, what can we do? Because we had heard people saying that, oh, it's going to be a wealth shift.
Yeah.
It's Corona, but some people, businesses are going to gain, some are going to go down. And I said, hey, then I have to be on the gaining side. Oh. So what can I do at this time? We are home. I mean, places are closed. What would sell? Of course, there was a shift to social media. Yeah. All of us had to be there, even if you didn't like Facebook, there was nothing to do. So I said, okay, you are trapped home. Let me start something that I can leverage on social media, distribution, and something that is beneficial, because people won't be going out, they won't need clothes. Yeah. People won't go to restaurants and so on. But if they are home, then they want to be fit, then they want to be healthy, then they want something that will boost their immunity. So that's how come we started with Nutri Health Foods and Beverages. And by the way, my husband says, can I have some of the Sobolo? I say, no. Why? It's hibiscus tea.
Oh, what's the difference, please? Enlighten us.
Really, there's really no difference. But one of the things I quickly realized was that to position the brand, I needed to give it, some swag, you know what I mean? Because you want to position it in a way that you can brand properly, you can get people who ordinarily won't think that Sobolo is something they must drink to drink. Typically was drunk cold all the time. Yeah. But then we had to shift it and get people to drink it warm as well, because there are benefits to that. I mean, better digestion and all that if it's warm. Okay. And so that was the thinking behind it, that let's do something that boosts your immunity. I've always also been very interested in our herbs and spices, and my mother calls me, I don't take medicine. I don't like to take medicine, any kind. So when I'm not well, I would say, okay, let me sleep it out, or let me go for a walk, or let me drink a lot of water. Wow. So that my body heals itself. So I've never been a fan of medicine, but I've always believed that our traditional herbs and spices and all of that are very good for us. Somehow we've thrown it away as young people, modern people, and we are looking to orthodox medicine and all of that. So that also informed my desire to go into this, because then I can take what culturally we have, make it ours, make it useful, and put it out there. You know, the Chinese are doing it, why not us?
And it's beautiful. You studied finance in school. Yes. Your background is marketing. Yes. How did you end up in the food processing space?
You see, this life is never straightforward, though. I did finance first. I mean, typically those days, if you're going to the university based on your grades, then you get a course. So grades were good. So I said, okay, it has to be business administration. There was not much thought into my future, what I was going to do.
Did you know that you were going to be an entrepreneur?
No, not at all. No. Not at all. You know, and then when you're in business school, again, if you think you are smart, you do accounting or finance or whatever. So I can't be seen to be doing other things when I can do finance. So I did finance first degree, then ended up in a bank. Actually 2 banks, 3 banks. Started with Standard Chartered, moved on to City Savings at the time, and then to Cal Bank before I left off. And then whilst in City Savings, it was almost like a downgrade from Standard Chartered because City Savings was now coming up, rebranding. I like the excitement of new things. So I joined hoping to make it better. Then I realized, okay, if I need to move up, then I need to up my first degree. Everybody has a first degree. So I went back to school, at the time still working, and then did the second degree also in finance. Why? It was easier because
first of all, a lot of people don't think finance is easy.
Oh, really?
Let's just establish that right now.
You know, I had done a lot of what I would do in the master's in the first degree. So then I didn't have much to build up on. So it was easier, you know, relatively. So that's how come I did a second degree in finance. But it was good for me because at the bank, what would happen if I am selling you a financial product is that I understand what I'm selling. So I didn't practice finance, but my finance was very instrumental in me being successful as a marketer in the bank.
And now as an entrepreneur, because there's one thing you said earlier on, that when you started this, we're in COVID times.
Yes.
People were not looking for clothes because obviously they are stuck home. They needed something to boost their immunity. So for all the entrepreneurs watching us, how important is it to start from the demand side, what the market demands first, before you even go into building the product?
Before you should be a lecturer.
Oh, no. And once you build the product, how do you get to a point where you don't only focus on the nutritional benefits of the herbs, but presentation, branding, marketing, packaging, all of that? Because you've clearly checked all the boxes.
But I would say quickly that when I left the bank in 2007, I haven't always been successful.
You failed at a lot of things.
Plenty.
And is it part of the journey as well?
Yes. I mean, you learn lessons. You know what not to do and what to do.
But how do we learn to fail gracefully?
It's hard. It's hard. But no matter what they tell you, fail forward, all of that still, when it gets there, it's hard. And some of it can be very expensive failing, you know, but it's still part of a process. Hey, at a point you tell yourself, I won't do it again. I will just buy a treasury bill and sleep and all of that. But if it's not you, it's not you, you know. So because the challenge, the thrill, the excitement sitting here with you right now, all adds to the
killing
fun
it
of
in the hibiscus,
you know what I mean?
Industry.
You asked me about the creating products from the consumer side. That's the bane of a lot of us entrepreneurs. You think of the idea, and in your mind, everybody will like the idea, or you're doing it the way you would have preferred to do it because that's what you want. No. You always have to start from the market end. What does the customer want? You know, so sometimes we will sit in our offices as educated people and say, oh, people in Makola, they don't know, they haven't been to school, but they know exactly the psyche of the person coming to buy. They understand what people need. It may not even be what they want personally, but that's what the market wants. And if it's legal, it's profitable, it will make you money, then you don't sit on your high horse and say, I'm going to do something that I think would work. Okay, so I was in a state where I have to pick a product that has not been very glamorous, sobolo, I mean, in bottles and all of that. I have to make sure that it gets to a point where Jifa wants to drink.
And I want to drink it. As they're looking at on our screens, I know viewers at home are like, where can we get our own? She'll give us all the juicy details soon.
So what would make you want to even take a second look at the product? I have to look at the packaging. I have to make sure that it is hitting a certain target market that would want to see and take what we are doing. So that informed the clothes it's wearing, because you are as beautiful on the outside and you must be good on the inside. So in our company, we focus on 2 things, the product development and then the marketing bit of it. And we have to get it right, because if somebody buys because it's nice and then obedu fiene matrek, you know, it's not acceptable. So we work on making sure that the product is good. We started off with the loose tea in sachets, and then we had to now get people to buy coffee makers to brew it and all that. It was a bit cumbersome.
Yeah.
So quickly we had to move on to the tea bags,
Wow.
which makes it easier for you to buy and brew and all of that. So product development is key and fundamental to everything we are doing.
And what informed the different colors? Because I love it.
We started out wanting to do a different color for every variant.
Okay.
But it was becoming too many colors, so now we had to combine, but we picked the colors based on the perception we want people to have of the variant.
Okay.
I pick red for ginger because it has to be
Nice.
hot and fiery and all of that. I would pick orange or yellow for pineapple because it's fruity and all of that. So the colors are not just random.
Okay.
We try to match because colors also give you a feel of what you should expect on the inside. So the ginger, when you drink, how's a cocoa cry doesn't come close. It's very hot and spicy, and all of them come with our herbs and spices. There's a shurisa in there, a formwisa.
And are all the
of them
ingredients natural?
very natural, 100%.
Wow.
Yes.
And I like the fact that on the label you have the benefits, you have the ingredients, and globally now they're like, if you can't understand what you're reading on the label, don't buy. So I like the fact that literally there are just 3 ingredients: hibiscus, percocet, local spice. That's for this one that I'm holding.
Yeah.
And then obviously directions and everything else. How important is it for us to get to a point in our development where we have products like this coming out of Ghana to the world, and not just products in their raw form and other people will manufacture somewhere? Because I'm sure you are employing people, you're adding value at the supply chain.
Exactly. I think when you are starting off as an entrepreneur, and a lot of us haven't been orientated to think like that. The current state in which we are, the world is your stage. The world is your country, because the Chinese products will come in. Why can't I get my products to China? So you start off with the perception and the thinking that this product could end up in a Whole Foods shop outside Ghana.
That's the next destination.
Yes, please. So
and Trader Joe, we're coming.
Exactly. So if whatever I'm doing, and we are not even there yet, I mean, the standards are so high that we have to build up and get there. So in my mind, okay, I can't wait for the Whole Foods kind of before I start. But let me start locally and then build it up and get there. So at the back of our minds, we are thinking that we also have to get a share of that cake. Even in Africa, 1 billion people.
Nigeria alone.
Nigeria alone. I mean, can somebody please take me to Nigeria?
Where do we find your product? Because Ghanaians have to buy this.
Okay. We started off during Corona when physical outlets were not very useful at the time. So we started an online.
Nice.
So you just order and then we deliver to you wherever you are.
Okay.
Within Ghana, we would use maybe an STC, FedEx, and deliver. But we are looking to get wholesalers in the regions.
Perfect. What's the website and the Instagram handle?
Instagram
everywhere?
is NutriHealthGH.
Okay.
Very, very simple. NutriHealthGH. And then we are there. You can find our number, you can order, and all of that. Physical shops, we are now starting to getting FDA was not easy.
Challenge.
I mean, food items, they take their time, and I doff my hat to them. They make sure you meet the standards. So we had to work through that. And now we got our certification, so I can come and sit here and talk. By now, they would have been after me. I'm telling you.
Thank you so
now
much.
that we are there, we are getting into the shops. Very soon, you'd see it in a shop near
all
you.
the shops across the country. And in a few years, I would like to see a tea bar set up by you. You're the queen of innovation, so I'm sure you will make it happen.
It has to happen.
Pastor Boahemaa Ntim, thank you so much for being with us. And you can get this on their Instagram handle, NutriHealthGH. You can call them. They're going to be on all the shops near you. We all love Sobolo. We know that it's good for our health. So why not drink tea that's made from our own natural ingredients, especially since we're at a time where we need to protect our immunity. Don't go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will be right back.